So Andrea, please tell me a little bit of your thoughts on this painting by William Blake.
Thank you so much, Debbie. I can't believe that I've got this opportunity. Thank you. And the reason I say that is because today, of all days, it's William Blake's birthday. We're here in the Tate Britain, in William Blake's own room, which has painted this beautiful dark blue colour, probably, I should think, inspired. I'm looking around the room actually to see a few Dante drawings, but this is the painting, a tempera painting, and it's got this beautiful teal green colour coming through, and this wonderful androgyny figure. If you look on one side, it's got this feminine hip and very gentle balance with this masculine side as well, with very much both, and leading Leviathan. So it's hooking over her fingers there, delicately holding this cord which holds Leviathan. So he's got this enormous reptilian head there, probably the most rich colours in the painting are the head there, and you can see some of the coils coming round. It's just one animal, perhaps takes a while to realise that, but it's like a labyrinth going round the painting. So you gradually find your way. And it's a kind of border and then goes round to finish up this point here. And we've got the figure himself. It's the spiritual form of Nelson. I think also, as every Blake painting, is painted for the person looking at it. So it's really us as well, and guiding Leviathan. So it's Nelson guiding Leviathan, but also we're looking at the spiritual human form, which we can see as our own. So this idea that you've got this figure looping round, a Laocoon as well, a plaster cast Greek sculpture that Blake drew, and in this case also bringing in the Last Judgment feeling about it, but these flames perhaps are the crest shapes on Leviathan. And if you look closely, each one has the look of a bird's eye. So the more you look into this picture, the more gentle it becomes. So to begin with, it might be a little bit off-putting in its violence, in the way you've got shackled figure at the bottom, people, even though they're not shackled, holding hands as if they are. So many of Blake's work are about freedom and the fact that we make ourselves as being in chains, as well as the absolute injustice about people being put in chains, which Blake campaigned about in his day. So in so many ways it's about freedom. Birds, of course, are freedom. Blake said, as long as you soar with your own wings, you can soar as high as you like, more or less. So we've got this sense of freedom that can happen, and things being held in balance. I think it's also a kind of opposite to Botticelli's Venus, whereas Botticelli's Venus is balancing with her feet on a shell. She comes into shore. We've got this Venus from mythology is quite a sexual image, and here you have got that feeling as well. The shore, the idea, and then you've got this figure sort of emerging in that way. So all it is about really, energy, there's so many layers to it, these colours, they would have been more vibrant, his own method of making tempera painting. The idea of the elements of earth, you've got figures on the earth, you've got fire, you've got four flames underneath Blake, and of course four was very important for Blake, the four zoas, the four parts of the human. Ideas to do with water, fire, earth, and of course air, as everything's blowing around. And the figure itself is turning to one side, balancing this idea about liberty, justice. So all the big things that are important in life are all in there. And the beauty of the figures as well, and the fact they're all entwined and more shaped on how they feel than how a human body would be. So there's a kind of lack of gravity happening amongst most of the figures there. So it's a painting where you're seeing from different angles, you're seeing a portrait figure almost looking into this deep green here, as if from above, as if you see the sea from above, and this surrounding activity, the margin, that goes all the way round. So you can imagine Blake, when he was working on this panel, he might have turned it round as he was working, painting from different directions into the centre. So it's both a turning world painting, circular in its feeling, and very still as well, this still centre. Strange centre, it's almost like a belly button, but not quite. Again, I'm not sure the frilly underpants on this figure, it looks mostly male, I guess. So this ambiguity, not quite in balance, but all about balance. What do you think about it? Do you think, Debbie, it's one of those things that I feel everybody's going to have their own take on it. Everybody is going to come to it each time they see it. And I'll just read out what the take gallery has written, which is really useful. So, William Blake, 1757 to 1827. The spiritual form of Nelson, guiding Leviathan, 1805 to 9, tempera on canvas. Unusual to have a canvas painting by Blake. He wanted to do many canvases, big canvases, and we're so lucky to have this one. After the Napoleonic Wars, Admiral Nelson became a celebrated national figure. Blake hoped to recreate this painting as a public monument suitable to the grandeur of the nation. Yet, despite such patriotic claims, he portrays Nelson astride Leviathan. Did you say astride? Oh,
he is astride, I think, yeah.
To me, astride means riding a horse, but I think I see what they mean. To me, he's balanced, he's poised. Yes, astride. A biblical serpent associated with chaos and the apocalypse. Figures representing the nations of the earth. That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I can see different figures that look slightly, all different civilizations.
Yeah, and it makes me think of the conference of the birds as well, the fact you've got the birds around there, which is the Persian poem about birds seeking enlightenment. So perhaps the idea you've got figures from all over the world, and also biblical terms, you've got birds coming all around the world. So it says here, the figures representing the nations of the earth are caught in Leviathan's coils. The anonymous enslaved black figure beneath Nelson's feet acts as a dehumanizing symbol of Nelson's unrivaled imperial power. Blake opposed slavery and empire, but the painting is ambiguous. Is Nelson shown as a hero or a villain? And I think with a portrait like this, how do we see ourselves? How do we feel like this figure? How do we relate? What are we holding? And this encouragement really is something like Leviathan can also be guided in a way. We can guide our own sense of Leviathan within, possibly.
Oh, it's marvellous. Thank you, Andrea.